Do you want to learn to do a full renovation to either flip or to keep the property to yourself and get monthly cash flow? Stay to watch this video to the end, as I will be talking about how much it cost me to turn over a unit. I will be getting into all of the details, how much I paid for materials, how much I paid for labor, or any other cost that came in the middle of the renovation. I will even talk about an issue that I faced with the city that I promise you no book talks about. So if you want to learn about that, watch the whole video. Finally, because this was a really big renovation, I will give you some of the best lessons I learned through this renovation. So hopefully you can avoid making the mistakes that I made, and obviously take away the good things that I did also during this renovation. Hello, mi gente. My name is Yuri Galva. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Remember guys, this is the first property that I purchased, and I'm kind of giving you guys a walkthrough of how I renovated it, how I purchased it. And this is one of those videos where I walk you through how I renovated one of the units, one of the 3 units. So if you want to know how I went about purchasing this property in cash, then watch this video. You can also find the link to the video in the description below. I'm documenting my whole journey from start to finish of this bird deal, the first property I purchased. If you are unfamiliar with this property, this is a 3-family property that I purchased for $250,000 in cash. My goal is to renovate all 3 units, refinance the property so I can either get all of my money back out or most of my money back and keep making that positive cash flow every single month. Remember, this is how we get out of the rat race. If you haven't seen the first unit renovation, I recommend you go watch it now, because I promise you the transformation, it's unbelievable. Link is right there. With all of that being said, let's jump into how I was able to renovate the second unit. As a matter of fact, I thought the second unit was gonna be a lot easier for me than the first one. 1, because I already had experience renovating a unit, but 2, because when I walked through the property, I noticed that the unit didn't seem as bad as the first did. So if you guys remember, for the first unit, there was no drywalls in the bathrooms and the kitchens, while the second floor was basically a livable space. But unfortunately, when you start opening walls, you start to find surprises. And unpredictably, the second unit turned out to be more work than the first unit. And what does more work equal to? Well, very simply, more work equals to more money. So I ended up way over my budget for this unit. And because we needed to redo the whole kitchen, we actually had to open up some walls, which essentially always leads to more work. And the kitchen and living room area also had drop ceilings, so we actually ended up removing those drop ceilings and added sheetrock to that as well. The moment we opened up the walls led us to quickly realize that this property, actually most properties built in the early 90s, have knob and tube wiring. These type of wires are actually not preferred nowadays because they are easier to cause fire. Whenever walls open up and we see knob and tube wiring, the city will expect you to update the wiring, the electrical wiring, so it could be up to code. And as a matter of fact, this is something that I didn't know. No book teaches you about knob and tube wiring, at least none of the ones that I read. So this was something that I kind of had to just learn on the go, right? However, because there were knob and tube wiring, I actually had to get a licensed electrician to come in and do the work and rewire the whole kitchen, right? Only on the walls that were open, right? We're not gonna open the whole apartment to like rewire the whole apartment. We only did what needed to be necessary in order to bring it up to code at that specific area. In my case, it was only the kitchen. Because I had to get a licensed electrician, this pushed my project and my unit renovation to be done way further than I wanted to, right? When you get a licensed contractor, electrician, or whatever it is, they actually have to go through inspections. And these inspections can actually take time for them to be scheduled, for the city inspectors to come in and inspect the apartment. And they usually have 2 to 3 inspections per job. So it was definitely a struggle, as the inspector was also caught up with other jobs around the city. But with that being said, first cost of this unit renovation was definitely rewiring the kitchen and actually a bedroom as well. Electrician quoted me for $34.50, so $3,450. This electrician came from a good reference, so I decided to give the job to this electrician because I trusted the reference it came from. If it If I had to interview multiple electricians myself, it would have taken me a lot more time. And not only that, but also I probably would have chosen an electrician that wasn't as reliable as this person. Now, after the electrician did his job and all the inspections passed, it was definitely time to add other features that actually make an apartment look beautiful. Here's a quick video quickly showing how the unit came out.
Alright y'all, so I'm gonna show you now the renovation of the second unit. You should have seen the first unit renovation, but if you haven't, make sure to go click this video and you should be able to look at how everything turned out for the first unit renovation. Second unit renovation is basically a clone of the first unit. This is the living room. As you can see, everything was redone. New beautiful LVP flooring, new paint throughout, new light fixtures. Everything is brand new, guys. This is one of the bedrooms here. Pretty much the same layout as the living room. Beautiful floors, new light fixtures, and brand new paint. The kitchen now. So everything here is brand new, guys. Brand new cabinets with brand new handles, granite countertops, brand new appliances, microwave stove, beautiful fridge, and this is another part of the kitchen. New fan. I love that fan, by the way. Here's the bathroom. So we actually put tiles in the bathroom. We just prefer to do tiles. Gives it a little bit of a different touch. Brand new vanity, new light fixtures, beautiful mirror. And for this tub, I actually reglazed it. Like I said, guys, this is a 3-bed, 1-bath apartment. And this is another bedroom. So this bedroom actually had no closet. I had my contractor build a brand new closet, which you can see right there. Pretty nice and neat, so tenants can have their own space where they can store their clothes and their personal items. And finally, this is the last bedroom. Here we actually decided not to put flooring, like the gray flooring, because these were in really good condition. And I saved myself about $1,500 by keeping this floor the way it is here.
I paid a total of $11,200 for my contractors to do all of the labor work. This including demoing, adding walls, doing a full kitchen remodel, full bathroom remodel, painting, floor throughout all apartment, so many other minor things. I also paid $5,000 for reglazing the tub. And let me tell you, this is probably one of the best effective saving strategies there is out there. You know how much it would actually cost you to replace a tub, pay for the labor and all of that? Probably over 2 G's. But with reglazing the tub, you make it look brand new. And this will typically last you a few years for only $500. Also paid a rough amount of $1,200 for trash removal and a rough estimate of about 8 to 10 grand between buying cabinets, adding granite countertop, buying LVP flooring, which stands for luxury vinyl plank. These are really good flooring for tenants. They're scratch resistant, waterproof, and they have a really beautiful look. Now, to give you a full breakdown, this second unit cost me a very rough and close amount of $28,000. And yes, I'm hurt by saying that number because when I first walked through this unit, I remember myself taking notes, recording videos so I can go back and talk to different contractors so they can quote me. And I remember that I estimated this unit to be, give or take, between 18 to 20 grand to renovate this unit. And as you can clearly see, I was close to 10 grand off. So with that being said, here are the 3 lessons I've learned from this project. Lesson number 1, always overestimate a project rather than underestimating it. But before we go into lesson number 2, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when my next video drops. Lesson number 2, keep in mind that when you do hire licensed contractors, plumbers, or electricians, and they pull permits, your projects will get delayed. So keep in mind that, especially if you're doing a flip, if you're doing a burr, be on top of your contractors, your electricians, your plumbers. because permits can actually be a pain in the freaking ass. Excuse me for the language. But damn, man, permits are so freaking annoying that they will actually delay your project a month, two, and that's on the lower end. One thing I will say is that pulling permits is extremely necessary. Because why? If anything happens with the electrical, the house catches on fire because of some wrong wiring or whatever, you are protected because the licensed electrician pulled permits to do the work. And an inspector from the city came to look at his work and gave him the thumbs up. So if anything happens, you're protected. However, if you do rewire a house without having permits, you can get in really serious trouble if something happens and they do find out that you rewired a house without pulling permits. Lesson number 3, go to networking events, talk to people that are in real estate. Why? Because they will save you a ton of time. I didn't have to go looking for multiple electricians. When I know I needed an electrician, I just started calling my network. I started calling people that I know that are in real estate that I know most likely will have an electrician under their belt. I made 3-4 calls and I got names. I started calling those names and I was able to get a good quote, a good job, and I didn't have to waste a lot of time, right? Also, leave any comments below if anything was confusing, you want further explanation into anything, or if you think these videos are helpful to help you learn a little bit more about renovations and real estate and so on and so forth. And actually the budget, because I don't think a lot of YouTubers out there actually talk about how much they spend in rehabs, right? They might say, oh yeah, I spent 100 grand to fix it, but they don't actually break it down into where that 100 grand went to, right? So I'm hoping that this video is actually providing value to all of you guys. And if they are, once again, show some support by liking and subscribing to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one.